a day. That is their fucking day. And I feel very honored to hold this mic because when I moved to Atlanta, Catherine didn't allow anyone else to MC the shows except for this human. No, baby, I got it now. I got it. You want it? I got like 4 or 5 of us in here. What you want to do? But we can't do it together. We can share, because Black women share things. Yes. So I feel very honored that one, Catherine trusted me enough to take over the reins. Because when I tell you, she bad. She hosts poetry slams. She has won numerous awards, books in the Library of Congress, days named after them, also a teacher, and has the capability to make miniatures that are so lifelike. It is ridiculous. Miniature ovens, houses, just like Pop-Tart boxes. And they are so amazingly detailed. I think they knit and crochet.
I got a really cool knit scarf for Christmas.
I don't think there is anything that this next artist, because they're not a performer, they are an artist, can't do. Except take this mic back from me. So, we've all...
There's 2 mics.
It's fine. All right, so we know what we do at poetry readings and poetry slams instead of yes. And also, thank you, Michael. Thank you. You're an amazing bartender, Michael. Now, with your money, do we want to do a collection plate or do we want to throw it up here when they're finished? Oh, she wants it in her face. If it moves your spirit, which it will, I present to you Theresa Davis.
So, hey. I'm still trying to relearn people, you know. I learned during the pandemic that I knew I was an extroverted introvert, but then I stayed home for 2 years. I was like, I like hanging out with myself. I'm okay with it. So I'm still trying to get out and be around people. Okay, so I used to be a hoe. And I don't mean that. I mean, I used to be, okay, so, okay.
Yeah, but you have some of the best stories.
So once upon a time, my locks were down to here, right? And women like to wrap themselves up in it, and I don't mind. Unless as long as we both get out okay. But then 2020 and 2021 was a lot, and I just cut it all off. And I was like, we're just gonna get rid of that, start new. So I got my new locks going. I don't know, this one right here is trying to do a Jay-Z thing. We are not about that flat life. We're gonna work it out. So I wanted to do Spring Fling because of 2 reasons. One, I love spring, except now because it's kind of want to be winter, and that's not okay. But also, as a creative, how many of you have asked your creative partner to do a piece or a poem or something about you? Don't do that. Because you don't get to set the tone of that, right? And so Spring Fling in my head is like a real thing, right? We had a fling. And then we got lazy. And we hung out in it. And it was bad. It was bad. It was like real bad. And I wrote a poem that they did not ask for. But when we broke up, they were like, are you going to write a poem about me? And I didn't want to be like, that shit has already happened. So be careful what you ask for. You may get it. And I don't even know what this poem is. Y'all might be like, We gonna cancel Teresa. No, you're not gonna cancel Teresa. Fuck y'all. I don't care.
Honey,
In order to be canceled, you have to care, right?
we've been friends for a decade.
So, right. This poem is called, okay. We have all been in that relationship we know we should not be in.
Can I just ask if this is someone I know?
I'm just saying, it's not.
Okay.
But we have all been in that relationship that we know. Like you step in it, you're like, okay, this part's fun. Not so much over there. But let's pretend we don't see that. And just do this. And then it gets fucked up. Okay. I don't know why I'm trying to justify this poem. Anyway, it's going to be a something one day. Anyway, this is called We Shouldn't, But We Are. If you were everything I needed, I wouldn't be writing this now. I could not be writing this now. I was trying to have a goddamn conversation with you, but it was about art, and you don't do art. But we met at a poetry event where I was literally told of a politician to get out of my vagina, but you don't do politics either? And me wanting to take you out on a date to do something other than fuck for a change, and I say theater, and you say movie, and I say play, and you say I don't do plays, and I ask why, and you don't answer, but I already know the answer. And you say, let's just be close. And then you get to rubbing and shit, taking advantage of my sexual ADHD, and suddenly we are fucking again, and you are letting me, and I am letting you, and the belts are breaking, and the beds are breaking, and you are passed out, and I am laid up next to you, writing a poem about how I don't need to be with you, and the fact that we can't even talk about this because it is not the first time the subject has been broached, and the distance between us is further than it appears, close enough for fingers to stroke clits, but never close enough to meet in the mind, because you apparently don't do that. And I haven't approached this conversation with you in the last 6 months without a fucking drink in my throat, because it's the only way you made sense, and the distance between us is addiction. We crave the separateness like alcoholics, craving a fifth of whatever's the cheapest, our soil so saturated we cannot ever settle. You want my touch less than I want to give it to you. And this is how we have stuck ourselves into an existence neither of us will walk away from because we don't fucking know how. And even though we know that we are not who we used to be before we were with each other, and because I am a hopeless romantic and you are lazy, we lie. The way we lie here, it is almost believable. Almost. But soon, there will be nothing left to anchor us to each other. And we are going to crash hard and burn and drown. And I don't imagine you reaching for a life preserver to throw to me. I mean, why the fuck would you save me when you couldn't save yourself from me? The shine we have put on this shitty relationship should shame us both. And the fact that I am in bed with you, listening to you snore, writing a poem that you will never read because you don't do art, makes me realize how blind we are to the reality that we maybe, probably, actually don't even like each other. I love you like a root canal is not sexy. Neither is I love you exit wound. We are sick and sick of each other, in need of a 12-step program where we walk away from each other slowly at first and then run like hell, never looking back. When you told me you loved me, I was splayed beneath you, all moan and come. I wasn't even wearing my charm. And that's when I noticed that you never ever loved me with my clothes on. That's that. Thank you. So I am actually throwing a poetry slam at the Arts Exchange on April 8th, and I will give you free tickets to that now. So yeah, if you want to come and judge the poets at the poetry slam, thank you. That was so okay. So here's my problem with the poem, and I need you throwing money, so it's not problematic. You know, we live in this world where it's like, oh, you said I didn't like spam, that's problematic. Bitch, whatever. Anyway, so that's my problem. So the person that I wrote this poem for, they have been taking advantage of the weirdness that is 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023. And they popped up in my, and this is why I brought this, they popped up in my messages on Facebook, and they were like, hey, how you doing? And I was like, what the fuck? I'm not responding to that. I see a trap when I see it. But yeah, thank y'all for listening to that. Hopefully I will see you all soon.